Hello, everyone. Welcome to Valley Homes on TV, the Milpitas edition. I'm Todd Flesner, along as always with Debbie Giordano.
Hi, Todd. How are you?
Terrific. Hey, glad that folks have tuned in to check out what's new in Milpitas. We are on Channel 26. We're on 5 days a week, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the evenings. Saturday to Sunday mornings are at 10 a.m., I believe, Saturday, Sundays.
Somewhere around that, yep.
So, so you can tune in, DVD us, check us out every week, see what's going on in Milpitas. And so that's what we like to do. We like to bring you up to date with what's happening around town, what makes this a great place to live and to work. And so, Deb, you've got a guest for us today. It's going to help us with that.
I do. I'm really excited. We have Carolyn Gunott with the Valley Transportation Authority, and she is going to tell us a little bit about herself and what she does. And Carolyn, thank you for making the trek out here to Milpitas.
You're welcome. I've actually been here quite a bit now. We have a project office right here in Milpitas.
Oh, nice.
For the BART project, so we are located very close to the construction that we're doing.
Great.
So.
Well, we'll get to that. So let's start with you.
Okay.
Tell us a little about yourself, your background, maybe what brought you to VTA or some of your history and what you're doing.
Okay, I'm actually have been in transportation for about 30 years. Came out from Pennsylvania. Did construction inspection for the Department of Transportation in Pennsylvania for a little while.
I can't imagine you in a hard hat, but
I'm not keen on it.
You paid your dues.
My steel-toed boots as well,
okay.
Which I actually just had to buy a more recent pair to bring along because I somehow lost mine from 30 years ago. So, and then I moved a lot into transportation planning, particularly transit. So I've been actually in consulting and for a long time working on transit planning and transportation planning, corridor planning. And actually this was the main corridor I worked on was the extension from Fremont into San Jose of BART and light rail across from Mountain View through Milpitas into San Jose. So those were my first projects. I've been on those for a long time. BART to the San Jose area for a very long time. So I came to VTA about 16 years ago and came in actually to run the planning, long-range planning for transportation for Santa Clara County. VTA was fairly new at the time and established. Worked with them to develop the first countywide transportation plan. Moved on to do more of the overall development activities, running marketing and public affairs, as well as the whole highway program, all the money, the funding, the real estate, the grants program. And then about 6 years ago, we decided to, at VTA, to create a division specifically to focus on delivering the BART project. So I became the chief program officer.
That is your baby.
So that is my baby. That's all I do is BART.
Well, good.
Well, this has been a long time coming. So you talk about planning in transportation. How far out do you look in terms of planning and projects and where we're headed?
Projects, something like this of this magnitude, there's a lot of planning goes on. It can be 15, 20, 25 years before the project is actually delivered so that people can use it. I think it's a matter of timing, funding, the actual needs to plan well, and actually having a vision. And you have to be okay with following through in the vision and not giving up.
Okay, so we talked about funding. So where does the funding come from?
The funding for VTA in general comes from a variety of local, state, and federal sources. The Federal Transit Administration gives quite a bit. VTA also does a highway program as well and delivers highway projects, and so there's some Federal Highway Administration money as well as other fund sources. The state, through Proposition, we've received bond funds as well as additional state transportation improvement program funds. The local funds...
And then we have a local sales tax,
The local funds, primarily the residents in this county, have been very generous to VTA. We run with a half-cent sales tax for our operations.
And that was since 98, 2000?
There was a half-cent sales tax actually in 1976 that was dedicated to transportation in terms of running the transit services.
Okay, and then there was this recent...
And then there was a half-cent sales tax in 2000 to run what we call the Measure A program, a series of projects. And then there was an 8-cent sales tax that the voters passed to actually operate and maintain BART once BART's
And that's going to be specific. Those funds are earmarked just for that project.
Right.
Okay. Right.
Terrific. So you've got big projects actually in the works right now here in Milpitas, and you're working with the BART project and then extension. Maybe share us a little bit about kind of what's going on currently. What are the things that are happening right now with BART?
Okay, with BART, we're just beginning construction. We brought the contractor on board about a year ago, and they are currently actually in the Milpitas Station area. You'll see demolition going on, and them doing a lot of utility relocations. There's a huge water main that goes through Milpitas, a 42-inch water main that's being relocated in the area of the station and just north.
Okay.
Dixon Landing Road, you'll see work there. BART will go under Dixon Landing Road, but you'll see interim closures once in a while at Dixon Landing Road. You'll see that. At Cato Road, which is just in southern Fremont, but affects Milpitas as well.
You're currently now to Fremont, where you're close to the borders of Milpitas, aren't you? The BART extension, didn't they add one more?
BART is currently building an extension. The agency BART is building an extension to Warm Springs and southern Fremont.
Right.
And then we pick up from there
Then that's
and
where we
move
pick-
forward. And
okay.
VTA has an agreement. We're not in the BART district.
Okay.
So therefore, we are building the BART facilities, and we will own the BART facilities, but BART will operate and maintain, and we have that through an agreement we signed with BART in 2001.
Oh, that's right, yeah, they're separated.
So
Okay.
we're not in the BART district, so we pay our own way, and we're delivering it more closely with BART.
Okay, so the completion date, when will we see trains rolling into the Milpitas stations?
We expect to see them in early 2017.
Okay.
We actually were originally scheduled to deliver in 2018, but we have a contractor who has come on board and is able to deliver it a little more aggressively than our schedule is. Granted, there's always complications could occur, but right now everything is working out well, and we plan on delivering it in 2017.
Now, we wanted to tape our show, the weather's a little inclement, but out there where the VTA, where the substation is. So where exactly will the BART one station be here in Milpitas?
It'll be right at the location of Montague and Capitol Expressway.
So near Great Mall,
So it'll be right near Great Mall.
and folks can then go to the light rail, hook up?
They can go to light rail. We actually will have a connection, a direct connection from light rail. Light rail, this point is on Capitol Avenue, and it's
Right.
aerial, so we'll have a direct connection pedestrian overcrossing that will land into the plaza area of BART, and then you can just get into BART at that point. The BART station, the Milpitas station,
And that's going to be underground?
will be
right?
underground. You'll actually enter the mezzanine at level and then go down to catch the trains.
Wow.
And then there'll be a lot of reconstruction of, some construction of Montague Expressway as well and Capitol Avenue for this
let-
project.
Let me stop right there. So we talked about a lot of construction, things that are already beginning in Milpitas, and where do you reach out to the community? How does this affect residents that are close to the proximity of the lines, and do you have community meetings, and how do you reach out and
Right.
talk
We
to the
have a
folks?
number of ways that we reach out, and one of the things that we did when we established sort of a specific area or division focus at VTA is we actually have a community outreach group that's specific to the BART project. And they have established relationships with many of the property owners and the businesses in the areas. Anything that we're doing, we do outreach to. If we do have community meetings regularly, we do try to make sure that they're not too regular, that there's nothing to talk about. We want to let them know what's coming in terms of the project. But we do anything from, if there's an interim closure, we will go out and flyer the area, and we'll talk individually to the owners or to the businesses that are in that area. We let the residences know. We have a website that actually, if you pull up the front page, you can click on right near where you live, and it'll show you the construction impacts that you might see, lane closures or driveway shutdown. Those types of things will be shown. And then we also will notify anybody if they sign up for anything that's going on. You'll automatically get an email or notification about a meeting or something that's going on in your area.
Yeah, I know you and I, before we started taping this afternoon, we were looking at the website. So you've got actual photos of what's going on now that folks can actually, see what's happening.
Right, and I think, one of the things is that's really important to actually go to the website if you can, and it'll be easy to get to it. We have it also that you can get it right on your phone, your smartphone, and if you click on certain things, you'll be able to get your construction updates right away as well.
So Warm Springs, BART is extending to Warm Springs, and then we'll be coming into Milpitas. Where deep into San Jose? Where does that delivery go from
Well,
here?
we're constructing, right now we're under construction for the first 10 miles, and we're calling it the Berryessa Extension, Silicon Valley Berryessa Extension. That ends, there's two stations, one in Milpitas, the one at Montague.
Right.
And Capitol. It will be called the Milpitas Station. It'll be very prominent in the location with a parking structure located as well. At Berryessa, which is right just directly to the east of the flea flea market site in North San Jose, and that will be the end of the line temporarily.
So just the one stop into San Jose.
So it'll just have one stop at this time, and then we're moving forward with the next 6 miles that would extend into downtown San Jose to Giordano Station and then over to Santa Clara.
Oh, nice.
Caltrain. So that's the next phase, and that phase.
A lot of connectors. It sounds like it's a very planned route for folks to be able to get into other areas of the county without having to drive.
Right. Milpitas will be absolutely critical because of the light rail connection, because the light rail will take them into North San Jose and other parts of Milpitas where really there's a lot of
I know
industry.
earlier there was some talk about a possibility for a second station in Milpitas. That was many
years ago, there was a future Milpitas,
and that
another
might have been
one.
out here by City Hall, or
Right,
at some, which that's okay. We'll take the one.
You'll t-
we'll take one. Usually we get forgotten, but we know we're needed now. So.
But VTA is going to have a transportation hub here in Milpitas. So what all will be in that hub? You'll have BART, right?
We'll have BART, there'll be light rail, there'll be
And
a bus transit
bus
center.
transit.
And the one thing that we've also found is a kiss and ride area, which is what you call when
What's
people.
that? Talk about
a kiss and ride is where you would drop off, your
Todd
significant
Flesner.
other, or your kid who's going to go to off to college, and you drop them off right next to the BART station.
station, uh-huh.
And then the other thing that we will have is a shuttle area, because a lot of businesses and companies in this area have actually transport their people through shuttles and buses. So we'll have a whole shuttle area so that it's not conflicting with the VTA bus service, which has timed points and arrivals and departures. So we'll be looking at that as well. So all of that is actually integrated, and an extensive bicycle storage facility as well, so people can drop their bikes off and take BART.
Nice.
Yeah, terrific. So so we're going to be a hub of transportation here. That's terrific. So folks can get in and out of the area quickly and easily, being right there with the great mall as well. And so that should be a real benefit to our Milpitas community.
Yes.
So what do you see are some of the major challenges between now and getting BART here in 2016, it's now moved to 2017?
Well, it's
I heard.
2016. No, it could be the end of 2016, early 2017. I
Okay.
guess I'm giving
Okay,
myself
I've been
a little
quoting
more.
the 2016, but
It is 2016, I guess,
do you
according to
see
the
any major
contractors.
obstacles that are going to be in that way? It sounds like the line is pretty well grooved. Do you see any real challenges between now and then?
We were lucky we had a lot of state funding where we did a lot of engineering up front before we turned it over to the contractor. And the contractor's actually doing the final design and the construction. So I would say, just making sure all the utilities can get relocated. We have to work with a number of I think we work with 7 different utility companies. They've got to move their infrastructure out of way or relocate it.
Wow.
Some of those are transmission lines for PG&E that were the ones that extend all the way up to San Bruno. So those are the areas that we have a lot to do with, as well as mentioning the water district's
So
facilities.
basically, Carolyn, the line is coming through, is it through the railroad line, the Standard Pacific
It's on
line?
the previous Union Pacific Railroad right-of-way, or the Western Pacific Railroad right-of-way is what it is.
Actually made it pretty convenient, didn't
It
it?
made it convenient because one of the things is that you won't see as much construction in your streets outside of the intersections where it's crossing. Otherwise, it's going to be behind businesses, behind residences. So that's one of the areas that we've been looking at. I would say the challenges are typically, in this phase would be, we are in a trench area, and it's not a tunnel, but depressed. And once we get that trench built and we know we're out of there, we know things are going to be probably